Welcome back to the Real Estate 401k show for our Friday edition, all about stories. I'm your host, Mike Weinstein, alongside Justin Frederick and Ryan Gerdes down at the end. Every time we do story, I'll let you start, Ryan.
Okay. I'll jump
I was going to say, every time we do it, you guys start, and I was going to kind of take it. Pressure from you guys and start.
Well, so just to remind everyone, on Fridays we do our story time, and so we just go around the table and we talk about our stories, and maybe it's a win or maybe it's a loss, but it's always a learning experience. And this week we had, he was the best man in my wedding, and about 2 years ago he decided to get his real estate license and jump on our team, and he's probably the nicest guy you've ever met. So nice, in fact, that when you first meet him, you're going to be like, what's this guy up to?
Exactly.
Like that nice. And then after about 20 minutes of like talking to him, you're like, no, this is how cool this guy is.
He's a deep hugger, too.
Yeah. Dude, his hug game is strong.
Yeah, he gets in there.
And so he calls me up and he's like, hey, one of our mutual friends from back in the day, looks like they're wanting to make a move. And so he and I partnered up and are helping these folks, sell their home and buy their next one. And it's like, it doesn't feel like I'm at work. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like we're at home shopping.
Awesome.
It feels like we're just out, like hanging out with the old gang again, and like we're just telling some of the raunchiest stories and laughing our asses off the entire time. Meanwhile, we're they're going and buying this beautiful home, and the only thing that frustrated me is that they wanted nothing to do with keeping their current home that they have a 2.5% interest rate on.
Oh my goodness!
Their monthly payment on it is $600 a month.
Oh my god!
And the thing rents out all day long for like $2,200.
Ouch!
Yeah.
And these are friends.
Yes, these are like close friends. Like,
yeah, sometimes you can take a horse to water, right?
It's like, I just don't want to deal with being a landlord, Ryan. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it up then, man. I'll shut up, but just know you're leaving a shit ton of money on the table.
Well, we always talk about options and whether people choose to keep their home or not. I go to bed at night knowing that I've laid it all out on the table because I can't force them to do it. And if they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it. But at least they were able to make that decision to say no.
Mm-hmm. So that's my story.
That's a good story.
Yeah.
So mine was I initially pre-qualified this couple. They were moving from Nevada. They are moving from Nevada. They were taken to a new build. New build pre-qualified them at one of their special rates. It was like a 4.75.
Mm-hmm.
The gentleman has a remote letter that says he can work remote. The new build said, we will not do this as a primary residence. We're going to do this as a second home for you. The rate shot up to a 7.75 with 2-point buy down on a second home. And so
bucket of yuck.
Yeah. Guy called me back and
I'm going to try to figure that one out on the Scrabble table.
And I was so confused. I'm like, even at a second home with as much as you're putting down, I can do this at a 7.5. I don't understand what they're looking at. I'm like, can you just send me over the loan estimate? And not only did it have 2 points on it, but it also had $5,000 in origination fees, which they were giving them a lender credit for $5,000. So that ate that up. And I said, you know what? I'll do this as a primary residence if you want to move back to me. Ended up getting him 6.75 locked in, and we're closing in 2 weeks. So pretty cool that it came back. I feel bad that I said, put me on a conference call with the new build lender, got on the new build lender with the lender, and he said, yeah, underwriting won't accept it. I said, do you have a copy of the letter that says he's a remote employee? They said, yeah, we do. It says he has to go back once a month. I said, hit him for the flight over to Nevada, even though he can drive over there. That my underwriter would accept something like that. And he said no. I talked to his boss on a conference call with the borrower. the boss said we already tried to fight underwriting on it. I'm just like, I just can't believe this is real.
Yeah.
So I said, sorry, Mr. Borrower, come on back over. I'll save you some money on the interest rate at least, and let's get this closed. He said, let's go.
Dude,
So
builder lenders can be the worst.
It doesn't make any sense to me. If there was a logical reason for him not being pre-qualified, it's weird. It's not like they're trying to save this rate for somebody. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. So
good for you.
I'll
buddy.
take it.
All right. Well, if you want to be part of our stories and our assistance in helping you achieve wealth in real estate, go ahead and text the word story to 623 AZ RECON. That's story to 623 AZ RECON. So the philanthropic aspect of my life is really taken me into the domestic violence world. I've served on, board of directors, president of board of directors, and throughout that journey, I've met some incredible people. So years ago, we met a young lady, and when I was on the board, this other dude was on the board, and one of my most favorite people, an incredible guy, but his new wife was a real estate agent. Okay, so now there's that. And so this young lady that, who came on staff at the shelter, talked about real estate and just didn't, I don't know, it was an awkward position trying to push someone out and so forth. So I for the most part, made my case, let it go. And so she has since then sold that home. They just bought another home about a year and a half ago. And so we got reconnected. And so we were just sitting down and chatting for a good 30, 40 minutes about it. And she's just like in an incredibly high interest rate. And don't know, how to read numbers and how to read rates and so forth. And she goes, I'm always running my credit and I'm always doing this. And I said, well, okay. Well, first of all, number one problem solved here. I'm going to introduce you to Justin. Because what Justin's going to do, because she's on some sort of buy down program. I haven't seen the mortgage statement, but Justin's going to be able to tear into that and tell you kind of what you really have, and then we have to determine of where it makes sense. What number does that rate have to be at to make sense to do a refinance? And she goes, I just can't figure that out. I go, you don't even have to worry about it. You're going to have a discussion with Justin. Justin's going to figure out that number and he's going to monitor it for you. So when that rate gets to that number, Justin's going to give you a call and then and now you don't have to try to figure out. You're trying to figure out something that you're not an expert in. And I don't even consider myself an expert in the lending world. That's why we have Justin.
Sure. And
then, then into that conversation, she was learning and asking me more about, kind of what we do as real estate wealth managers and so forth. She's finally like, God, I really want to learn how to build wealth in real estate. So I'm like, cool, badass.
Awesome.
So we're going to do that. All righty. If you want to be part of our stories, text the word story to 623 AZ RECON. That's story to 623 AZ RECON. All right. It's Friday. We are in March. It is spring season time because we have been talking about spring season all week long. So where is your favorite spring training facility to take in a spring training ball game and why?
I'm going to go last because I got a long story.
All right.
Okay.
I bet you guys could guess where mine is, right?
One right by your house. Yeah.
I can walk.
Yeah.
I can walk there. And we do.
You're so uncreative.
I am all about convenience, okay? I am all about convenience. And the fact that I can take a wagon and drag my youngest two in the wagon, walk my ass to Peoria spring training, where it's the original spring training, right? I mean, it's there's every restaurant around there that you can imagine. It's in my backyard. I can see the lights from my backyard. We walk over there. I can drink a bunch of beers. with my kids, and I can walk home safely with my
How
children.
many beers do your kids drink?
I was trying to figure out how to save them from that.
My wife and I, we love to go and sit on the lawn, let the kids play.
Drink beers?
And we drink beers. And then we drink. It's absolutely great. It's the one time where my kids love to go out to the ballpark, and we like to go out and sit on the lawn and just enjoy ourselves. So that's it.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, so mine's the Glendale spring training facility where the Dodgers are. And I grew up in LA. I grew up a Dodgers fan. I grew up with Vince Scully and everything. I've always been a Dodgers fan. So when I go there, I get to see the Dodgers because I don't get to see the Dodgers because I don't go to LA very often. 2, I still think and maintain the best hot dog in all of sports is the Dodgers Farmer John 12-inch wiener. I mean, it is the best hot dog there is because they cook it.
Mm-hmm.
They cook it in beer, cook it in Bud Light. I did that on purpose for you
Shocker,
guys.
dude.
I did it on purpose.
So like the 12-inch wieners,
Yeah,
right?
the 12-inch
Okay,
wiener.
all right,
So I think the
That's
Dodger.
good information to have.
I think the Dodger dog is the best hot dog out there. And then third, what I love about the sports facility there is, and it's contrary to why you like the Peoria one, there is nothing else around. So the only traffic that you have to battle is the traffic to get in and out of the complex.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the ease of that.
Mm-hmm.
So my favorite has more to do with the story behind it and less to do with the facility itself, and that's Talking Stick. I think it's still called Talking Stick. The one out there off of the 101. Indian Bend,
Yep.
yeah. So about 10 years ago, not long after it was built.
And that's where the D-backs are, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
I get a call from my buddy, and he used to do all the catering for the D-backs. And he said, the D-backs are trying to roll out this new thing or whatever called the Ultimate Father's Day Experience. And it's over at the Talking Stick field. And could you come? It's on Father's Day, on whatever Sunday that was. And we are going to have a racetrack in the parking lot. And it's going to be, like sports cars, Lambos, Ferraris, and whatnot, and professional drivers will take you around the track and whatnot. We're going to have a helicopter out there, so you can go take helicopter rides. We're going to have a couple of the players out there, so you can go throw BP or hit BP, and then we're going to have a Topgolf simulator out there, booze, food all day long, and we just want to see if this is something that that we could do year over year. And I was like, well, hell yeah, I'm going to go do that.
Yeah.
So it was unbelievable. I'm not really a sports car, like wanting to sit shotgun and having someone throw me around. Like, I'm not really into that. If I was driving, I'd probably have been way more interested. But so I did that. It was cool. But the thing that was really awesome was the helicopter and the pilot. He used to fly in Vietnam back in the day, the Korean War. And so for like the first hour, like he was just, up and down, and there was a big long line to get in there. And then after about that hour, there was no more line. And so I just jumped in there and I was like, hey, dude, like, let's go. And he was like, you want to do some shit? And I was like, yeah. And so, like, dude, we're doing stalls. We're doing like ducking in and out of the four peaks over there. Like, we were like getting into some cool stuff. It was probably like, it was the best experience. So it was a hell of a lot of fun. So for that reason, Talking Stick won, and that was the first and only time they've ever done the Ultimate Father's Day Experience.
Well, that's a phenomenal story and a phenomenal experience. Not helpful for the listeners who are looking for a place to take in a ball game while they're here in March. So I'm just throwing that out there.
Damn, dude. Well, I'm sorry that you're not going to get your 12-inch wiener. Because clearly that's it.
Well, you may not want to, at this point, text the word story to 623 AZ RECON. But believe it or not, we are committed to helping you build wealth in real estate. And if you'd like to have a free strategy session with us and to talk shop, all you got to do is text the word story to 623 AZ RECON. That's story to 623 AZ RECON.